Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy. Today is another ESEE 6 update. On my video yesterday when I kind of talked about it, I was debating on whether I was going to make a leather sheath for it or not. I chose not to, but the one thing I couldn't stand was this clip. It's a good clip. It doesn't work for me. And honestly, you would think it would because I don't wear belts, but I mean, even the clip, made in USA. It's great quality, but the problem is this piece right here digs in to whatever you put it on. If you put that on your belt and then you got the knife, that's just gonna jam into your side. No bueno. So I wasn't gonna make a new sheath for it, but I did put a piece of leather on there and make a belt loop. And that helped dramatically. So you can imagine if this was on this side, if you can see how that sticks out? That is a very hard point that just gonna jam into your side. Not good. But I made it last night, literally after I made the video. But after you dye leather, it tends to get real hard. It loses its suppleness. So today, we're gonna put a little 4-in-1 care on it. Let's take this off. This was an easy build. Part of the reason why I did it. Took me 20 minutes other than, 4 or 5 hours to make a leather sheath. And that's just to make it. That's not the finishing process of, the aftercare like we're doing right now. It's very hard. I mean, I don't know how to express how hard that is. It's like cardboard almost. But what I did was I laid this out on a piece of leather, traced it out, flipped it, traced it out again. My piece of leather looked like that. Folded it, and then I glued it up until right about there. So this is glued. It could have sewed it, but there's really no need to because it's held on by 4 screws, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, let's put some leather care on there and see how much it makes a difference on suppleness. On the plate, nah. So this stuff, what is it made by? Whatever. Preserves, strengthens, cleans, and beautifies. It's safe for your skin. I mean, I wouldn't wear it, but pretty much basically when it comes to leather care, if you wouldn't put it on your skin, you don't want it on your leather. A little bit goes a long way. Just put this on here, let it soak, and then once you get a kind of a generous amount on there, let it soak in, and then wipe it off. And if you need to retreat it again, you can. I don't really think you can use too much because leather is going to only absorb what it can absorb. Man, I've had one of those days today where it kicked my ass. It wasn't a bad day, but out on our job site, we ran into this, we're rerouting some, what's it called? Fiber optic cable lines, which means I get to sit my ass on an excavator. But problem is where we were digging turned out to be a very old, very big chunk of concrete. It was like an old footing for, I don't know, like a canopy or something. It was like 8 foot long, 3 feet thick, full of rebar and high strength concrete, and it kicked my ass because we had to get a freaking air powered jackhammers out there, and we went, me and my 2 guys, because I'm the superintendent and foreman. swapped off because it kicks your ass. I mean, if you ever seen anybody running a jackhammer, feel for them. It's not for everybody. It's not for me. I'm too old and fat for this shit anymore. So yeah, now we'll let this sit. But yeah, you can see the shape. When I made it, I kind of pre-bent it a little bit to mimic the stock clip. Worked pretty good. But I'm gonna turn the camera off. We'll come back when this is absorbed. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Let's check it out. Way more supple. Way more soft. Still hasn't absorbed right there. Any kind of excess, wipe it off. Using the dirtiest shirt I could find. And we'll go ahead and put it back together. Just so much more supple. All right, so for right hand carry, you want on the left side of the knife. I made this to where the back of the Chicago screw goes in. The way my punch works, because I was going through 2 thick pieces of leather, put a big hole and a small hole. But the small hole fits these Chicago screws pretty good. And yeah, now it's just time to cinch it down. Typically I would probably use some blue Loctite on these, but I'm not going to yet because I don't know if I'm done modifying it yet. And since these don't have like a slot in the back, if I lock it down, I might not get it off. I might have to cut it or do something I don't want to have to do to it to get it off. But yeah, this leather is just, ESEE should have like a loop option like this, other than the clip. I mean, the clip's cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm sure it serves its purpose. But for my purpose and for a couple other people that I know that have the ESEE 6, their purposes, they're not a big fan of the clip. But I mean, if you're gonna hook it to a pack or something, and you clip this on like the molly webbing, and then lash it, that'd be good. But I mean, who wants that? I don't want that. I want access to my knife. I'm not always wearing a backpack, so kind of rambling. But let's see here. Just give it a little snug. You don't want to over tighten it because it is just going through leather. Kind of recesses it down in there pretty good. Another thing I could have came in here and did and cut this at kind of like a 45, blend it in a little bit, but I really don't care. Honestly, when it's on your hip, you'll never know this exists. So anyways, that's my mod. It's easy for everybody to do. Thanks for watching.